Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Defending their dam.
Nobody around here wants this gone. It's been here for 180 some years. Why now?
Tonight, some folks who live near a historic pond in Oakland County are trying to send a message to the state.
The debate taking place along the Stiffs Mill Pond Dam in Holly, which touches the Shiawassee River.
Yeah, many who live near the dam love it and the bodies of water nearby, but environmental experts at the state level, they have some concerns. As Pamela Osborne reports, what's being discussed has some people there fired up.
The Mill Pond Dam has been here since 1840, and not only does it have some historical significance, it really supports an entire ecosystem. All kinds of wildlife live here, and the people who live alongside it say they can't imagine it not being here.
But if they take this out, I'm not going to be living here no more because I'm just going to move out of Holly.
You could say the Mill Pond Dam is Adam Schmeider's backyard. He's lived right next to it for 23 years, and in all that time, there's never been an issue until recently.
I was absolutely floored when I found out that they wanted to pull this out.
An Eagle spokesperson tells me they aren't calling for a permanent removal of the dam at this time. However, they've advised the village of Holly to lower water levels until repairs to address the dam's embankments, which do not meet minimum stability requirements, are made. Eagle went on to say a high water event would put the entire area at elevated risk. But any changes, Schmeider says, would harm the wildlife.
You're going to destroy all those wetlands, all the fish and the turtles and the frogs and the muskrats and beaver.
The removal of that is going to just disrupt the way of life for hundreds of people.
Andy Kakos doesn't want to see that either, so he helped start a petition. More than 900 residents have already signed it.
In just 3 or 4 days, I think that speaks volumes. It says a whole lot.
They're hoping Oakland County can step in and help fund the needed repairs. They've found support in County Commissioner Bob Hoffman, who believes any sort of plan to drain the pond or remove the dam is short-sighted.
This asset is owned by the historic village of Holly, and if it needs to be fixed or improved, that should be our goal, but not to destroy a valuable asset.
Now, Eagle says they have been working with the village and that in 2021, unfortunately, the village had some work done that they thought would repair the problem. But Eagle says it only made things worse. Now, the village was instructed to draw down the water by the springtime, but they instead requested this meeting, which is happening right now. And that's where residents are hoping that other solutions can be discussed. We'll keep you posted. I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
All right, Pamela, thank you.
Advocates for a new surveillance system coming to Dearborn say is just like Detroit's Project Greenlight, which features cameras at more than 1,000 business locations. But some are pushing back against what they feel is intrusive technology. Jay Scott Smith is live to bring us up to speed on this new initiative and the debate surrounding it. Jay.
Yes, good evening, everybody. And this new program has public safety in mind, but civil liberties advocates see it as a threat to the First Amendment.
During their meeting on April 22nd, the Dearborn City Council approved a $720,000 5-year contract to implement the Fusus real-time surveillance system. This voluntary program, which is similar to Detroit's Project Greenlight, will allow Dearborn police to access emergency calls and live camera feeds from participating businesses and residents. The vote makes Dearborn the second city in Michigan to deploy Fusus following Kalamazoo, which did so in 2023. The program will be partially funded by federal grants, along with $133,000 of confiscated drug assets, with additional support coming from the University of Michigan Dearborn as part of a public safety partnership. The university saying in a statement, "We are one of several community partners collaborating with the city of Dearborn to share camera access for public safety incidents. We've learned over the years from numerous tragedies at institutions across the U.S., including here in Michigan, how important it is during critical incidents for agencies to be able to work together and share information in real time when a crisis arises." While the stated focus of the program is on public safety, Fuchsius and other similar programs are seen by civil liberties groups such as the ACLU as a way to monitor and track people, particularly pro-Palestinian protesters who have become targets of the Trump administration.
Real-time crime centers like this, they're really just a gateway drug into other surveillance technologies, especially these plug-and-play systems that have integrations across different technologies.
Between October 2023 and October 2024, there were more than 80 protests in the city of Dearborn, which is the largest Arab American majority city in the United States, many of whom immigrated to the country from Palestine. Wadud says that systems such as Fuchsius may start off with public safety in mind, but could set up a deeper level of surveillance for American citizens.
What's going to happen here, which is what has happened in other jurisdictions in Michigan and across the country, is that the city buys one technology, and then there are 10, 15, 20 plugins that the city can buy next year, the year after that, and create this massive network of different surveillance technologies.
And just in the last hour, Dearborn's police chief Issa Shaheen issued this statement saying, quote, "The safety and security of our residents is the top priority of the Dearborn Police Department. The mission has directed our plans to integrate Fuchsius, which provides live video and information during an emergency. This initiative utilizes already existing visual infrastructure previously installed by businesses, and the Fuchsius system is not equipped for the integration of facial recognition technology. This system, by the way, is set to go into effect later on this summer." We're live in Dearborn. I'm Jay Scott Smith for Local 4.
Keep us posted, Jay. Thank you.
Right now, there's new information coming in about a shooting that killed a man in Clawson that happened last Thursday night. Now, the Oakland County prosecutor has charged 3 people, Tylaj Clark Spencer of Howell, Joshua Peel of Royal Oak, and an unnamed 17-year-old. Investigators say those 3 and the victim were preparing to leave a Clawson apartment to go to a party. Clark Spencer allegedly had a gun and decided to check to see if it was loaded. We're told the gun fired and hit the 18-year-old victim, and then the defendants left and hid the gun. First responders tried life-saving measures at the scene before rushing the victim to the hospital, but it was too late. Clark Spencer is charged with manslaughter and 2 gun crimes. The other 2 are charged with accessory after the fact.
A man is going to prison for decades for the shooting death of his 8-year-old sister that happened back in 2021. Gyasi Stribling was found guilty this past April of first-degree murder, and today a judge sentenced him to between 40 and 60 years behind bars. Stribling shot his sister in the head in the living room of their home at the 12 North apartment building in Southfield. Police say he concocted a story about an intruder shooting the girl during an attempted robbery, but investigators say he shot the girl because she'd been, quote, talking back to him. First-degree murder is punishable by up to a life sentence, but the judge opted instead for, again, that 40 to 60 years.
Well, a meeting is set to begin tonight in Hamtramck. That's happening at 7 p.m. amid controversy involving the city and its police department. Now, this is a regularly scheduled city meeting, but significant issues may be discussed. You know, the city's police chief remains on leave right now amid ongoing allegations. Then there's the city council and concerns members don't even live in the city. All of it is expected to come to a head at tonight's council meeting. We will update you as that meeting progresses.
Steel plates are now covering a sinkhole that opened up on Detroit's west side, trapping a car with 2 people inside. This was the scene along McNichols between Greenfield and 6 Mile. A couple driving home from getting breakfast found themselves stuck, but didn't realize right away how serious it was.
I'm thinking it was a big pothole until she said she couldn't move the car. And I told her, hurry up and turn off the car. And when I opened up the car, because I'm on the passenger side, I say, it's a whole hole. I could have fell out of anything.
The couple called 911 and the city responded. We're told aside from those steel plates covering the hole, the area is blocked off as they investigate what caused it to cave in. There's a lot of deal making going on this week up at the Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island, where the annual policy conference is underway.
Yeah, elected officials, business leaders, and many others are gathering there. And our Jason Colthorpe made the trek up I-75 to be there to cover it for us. He joins us live right now. Jason, I understand higher education is one of the big topics being discussed over there right now.
It absolutely is, Damon, and good evening to you and Kim. I just control your jealousy. I understand. You take a look, the beautiful bridge. What a gorgeous first full day of the Mackinac Policy Conference up here on the island, and it is underway in earnest, not just talking about higher education, which we'll talk more about in a moment, but a lot of the issues that the movers and shakers are here, the elected officials, to talk about, and the issues that are facing Michigan, how to solve those through cooperation and bipartisanship. And as we say, just the first full day. And one of the early discussions was talking about the cuts from the federal level about research at the universities. And I had a chance to ask MSU President Kevin Guskowitz about it. Here's what he had to say. How concerned are you right now about federal funding when it comes to higher education?
Very, very concerned about it, and that's what we're going to talk about today, the importance of that partnership between the federal government and America's leading research universities, Michigan State being one of those, and it's incredible work that's being compromised because of the federal cuts and some of the threats to indirect rates on research grants, and it covers the spectrum from our work with the Department of Engineering and Department of Defense up through our NIH funding, and I know it's sticking for a lot of other university presidents. It's concerning.
How do you push back on that, considering we've seen what happens when a college like Harvard University fights back? It can lead to some very contentious legalities.
We have to keep talking about the impact to society. It can't be about the impact it has on any one individual or any one institution, but about the impact to society if we shut down clinical trials work that's saving lives.
Now, here's what we have coming up for you tonight at 11. We're going to dive into some new polling numbers that dropped today about Michigan's open races. And I'll just leave it at this. It's got Mayor Mike Duggan telling everybody, "I told you so." We'll have that for you coming up tonight at 11. Until then, on the island, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Okay, we'll look forward to your reports coming up tonight at 11 and for the rest of this week. Jason, thank you. And Jason, we'll have those live reports here on Local 4 and Local 4 Plus all week long.
And that includes the final day of the conference, which will feature a debate between Detroit mayoral candidates. All right, you know, Jason told us to contain our jealousy. You see the scenery out there on Mackinac Island?
I know, it's gorgeous.
But look, it looks good over. Is that Bellevue?
Yeah, that's Belleville.
Looks nice over there, too.
Right, and I thought, oh, look at how beautiful it is and how wonderful. And then he put it to shame with that shot, right? No offense to Belleville, but, I mean, that was just gorgeous.
Yeah.
You don't, it's iffy this time of year in parts of northern lower Michigan and up into the UP. So we'll take this shot, though, also from our Windsor sky cam. It's a pretty evening, and temperatures are not too bad. They're a little below average for this time of year, but they're okay. 70 in Detroit, Ann Arbor, also in Pontiac, upper 60s right now in parts of Grosse Ile. Tomorrow, not as nice as today. We'll have a lot of clouds around, and we'll also bring in that chance for some scattered showers. 57 in the morning, but that's not bad. We just don't climb very much. 63 in the afternoon will be our high temperature for the day, and it's also a little bit breezy tomorrow. 7-day temps, though. Look at this. Once we get through the next couple of days, we go back into the 70s and we stay there until 1 week from today when we hit 81 degrees. But we'll talk about our next chance for rain coming up.